Hello everyone, this is Manine from Nail Artist Academy and welcome to my nail station. So today is module 2 and if you've gotten through module 1, well done and welcome to module 2. Today we are going to be learning about different types of gels and their applications. So let me just go to the next slide. Types of gel nails, proper nail preparation. We will look at gel polish manicures in this as well. Let's have a look. Let me move me across here so that you can see my screen. Hold on one second. Types of nail gels. You may have heard of different gel services like shellac, gelish. These types of gels are considered soak-off gel polishes. They come in polished bottles and are cured under a UV or an LED lamp. This is a UV or an LED lamp. Soft gels can be soaked off and hard gels cannot. Soft gels are more flexible and hard gels are more porous, therefore stronger and great for long nail extensions. So you would use a hard gel for long nail extensions. Soft gels are wonderful for gel manicures. Hard gels are also great for natural nail overlays as it's having a permanent nail hardener. You can soak off a soft gel color and keep your nail intact. My preferred method is to buff off the colored gel and refill the regrowth with the hard gel. And I will show you the differences with the gel. Gels come in different viscosities. Some are thicker than others and some are thinner than others. So the thinner gels obviously would run more than a thicker gel and less controllable than a thicker gel. So runny gels are much thinner. Some gels are easier than others. Gel like polygel are known as a hybrid gel, which is a combination of an acrylic and a gel. These gels don't self-level like a soft gel or a hard gel, so they don't self-level. You've got to pack them into place. Great for beginners if you are wanting to learn acrylic to start off with your polygel after you've done your gel application. And those cure in a UV lamp as well. So it's a much thicker consistency, which we will show you in one of the videos. Other types of gels, they have fiber, which has got fiber added to the gel for extra strength. And I will show you now a whole lot of different gels so that you can have a look. All right, so let's have a look at some different gels. Let's just see here. So I'm just going to do this. Have to have the computer in front of us. Okay, so this is from, I'm not brand specific, but this is a Light Elegance product, very, very good product. And this is a hard gel. This is a fiber gel, so I'm going to show you. If you have a good look, it's almost got like a milky look to it. There's little filaments of fiber in there. Now, fiber, they make boats out of fiber, fiberglass. So here, this would be a very, very strong gel with a lot of flexibility. It's also a gel that is easy to work with. Just to give you an idea, you would always apply your slip layer. And you see this gel is not running everywhere. I'm literally just applying a strip layer. And then if I need to build on, I would pick up a bigger dollop and I would apply it in my stress area. But don't stress about this. I'm going to show you in more detail. So here you can see I can basically work this gel without it running everywhere. So very, very nice gel to work with. You'll find your favorites that you enjoy working with. So that is your fiber gel. All right. So we've got the fiber gel. Let me turn the hand around like that. Now I'm going to show you a different viscosity gel now as well, so that you can see the differences of the different gels. Right, so that was a fiber. Then you have in the hard gel range, so there's a whole lot of different gels again in the hard gel range. You have a one step, which I will show you now. You can see it is slightly more runny, so it's like a medium viscosity. It builds quite a nice little bead and also good to control. So we're still looking at hard gels, all right? In the hard gels, you've got your builder gels, which are colored. So you have this in soft gels and in hard gels. So this is, you can see here again, a much thicker viscosity. You can see it's more stringy, whereas a softer gel would be much more runny. So this you could build with, is a builder gel. Let me just clean my brush so I can show you now a different gel. So a poly gel, a poly gel comes in a tube like this, and it's a hybrid gel. So you can see how you would have to use alcohol to apply that. So here we have a little bead. You would just apply that bead to the nail. So we're just doing a quick review on the different types of gels that you can get. Poly gels, you have to use a solvent, an alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, a slip solution in order to maneuver that polygel. As you can see, I've applied that polygel to the nail and it's going nowhere. It's just sitting there until I decide to work it. So you can work this gel by pushing down on it and making sure that you don't flood the cuticles. Can you see how I'm working it into that? And then I'm just bringing it down the nail. So polygel is a gel that is much easier to control than, say, a runny gel. So there we have it. That is a polygel. So just a quick review on all of the different gels. We will be going in depth on them. So that is a polygel. Now let's go into our softer gels. So softer gels can come in bottles, and you will notice that they're much more runny. Let me show you. They're much more runny than, wait a moment, we've got the polygel on here. I just want to show you on another nail. Let's just get to another soft gel. So if you look here, it's a very runny gel. So your top coats and your base coats are always quite runny. So when you apply those, can you see it can run everywhere, and it's always best to sort of cure one at a time. So this is a much more runny gel, and it can run into your cuticles and all over unless you learn how to feather it across the nail. So I'm literally feathering it across the nail. All right, so your base coats are normally much runnier than your builders and so on. So I just want to remove the polygel and this other gel from my fake hand. All right, let's continue then to the next stage. So we are going to look at nail preparation. All right, nail preparation. So when you are preparing a natural nail, All right. You need to make sure that your hands are sterilized. All right. Always make sure they're sterilized. You are going to remove the colored gel, which we'll show you in another video how to remove them. We are just doing prep today. You're going to clean the natural nail. Then what you're going to do is you are going to be pushing back those cuticles. Can you see this is an overlay that I have on my nail? So now when you look at the nail, all the dead tissue that's sitting on the nail plate is what creates lifting. So your prep is so important. Very, very important to prep that nail properly. All right, so now I'm just going around the cuticle area, and then I would take a lower grit file. So we have files, the higher the number, so if you look at this file here, this is a 180 by 240 grit. 100 by 180 grit is a much more coarse file, so you don't want to use a coarse file on a natural nail. You want to rather use a softer file on a softer nail. So now that we have pushed back those cuticles, I am hooking the file in under that cuticle area so that I get rid of any of those lifting nail bits. Always remember that when you are preparing the nail, you don't want to flatten your apex. Now the apex is this over here. This is this little archer. This is what gives it the strength. All right. So we are just going to prep that nail and keep our arch in place. I'm going down the side walls like this. Can you see the side walls? And then I'm just going to go over the front of the nail. So if you can see, and I'm looking down the barrel, you look down the barrel is down the barrel here to see the thickness that is here. All right. You look down the barrel to make sure that the product is balanced all the way around. All right. Now, if you look at this, I have not buffed in the middle of the nail because that's where my strongest point is and I don't want to buff that away. So I've left that in place. I've just buffed all the loose material around the nail wall, and you would then obviously shape your nail how you wanted and then cleanse it. So a nice trick of cleansing is taking a nail brush with your cleansing solution and just give it a rub and all the dust will be gone before you apply your gel. All right. So now let's have a look at the rest. Here you will see that your steps there, I've put it in writing for you. You would wash your hands, you would disinfect them, you would push back the cuticles, remove all the dead tissue from the cuticle area and the side walls, lightly buff with a 240 grit to remove the shine from the natural nail to ensure better adhesion. Gel does not like a shiny surface, so make sure that you buff the whole nail. A misconception is to roughen that nail up to get better adhesion, which is not the case. Over roughening the nail can create damage, long-term damage. The nail plate becomes too thin. One shouldn't roughen that up with a 100 grit file. Always stay away from those. Cleanse the nail with a cleanser to remove all the dust from the nail plate. With more porous product, use a nail dehydrator and a primer. Make sure to apply the primer to the nail bed in small amounts and do not touch the skin. So remember, we have acid primers and non-acid primers. You don't want to create an allergy with products that are touching the skin all the time. So you don't want to create that problem. And so just make sure that you are not touching the skin area when using any of those products. if you've got a client that has a very oily, you can feel her hands are very sticky or grubby, they're damp. Make sure to use in those instances a primer and a nail dehydrator so that the product adheres to the nail better. All right. Our next one is a demonstration of a gel preparation and a gel polish manicure. So let me show you that on a finger of mine. All right, so now we've prepared this nail. All right, and I'm just going to go roughly over that just to make sure that we have everything. All the shine is now removed from the nail. Okay. And then we are going to cleanse that nail to remove all the dust. You are then going to be using your primer. So always follow manufacturer's instructions. So some are air bond, which dries in the air, and some you need to dry in a UV lamp. So for this exercise, we are just going to use the air bond one, and I'm just literally going to only run it very lightly across where the natural nail grows out. All right, you don't need to do the whole nail. So we're going to dehydrate that nail, and then the next one is this is tack from Light Elegance. So this is like a double-sided tape. So you would apply this to the natural nail, and you could sort of rub it into the nail plate so that it adheres. And this particular one you need to cure in a UV lamp to make sure that the product that you're going to apply on top is going to adhere to that nail. Okay, so that will then just cure. I need to get a nail color to show you how to do a nail color. So you would then, this would be your base coat. Always apply a base coat with a gel manicure. So now we have our adhesive here, and we are going to apply our base coat. So this takes so long to cure. Alright, there we go. So now we have our double-sided tape on there. So we have got our primer, and we are going to now put a layer of a base coat on the natural nail to protect the natural nail, so that when you are filling the nail, you're not filing down to the natural nail again. So now I have just applied a base coat to the nail. Always make sure that around the sides is clean, and we are going to pop that in the lamp. So there are different types of gels. You've got in bottles, you've got in tubs. You'll have to figure out which ones you prefer better. I like to use a brush. I feel I'm more in control with the pots and the brush, but that's just my preference. Bottles also fine because you get a lot of colors in the bottles, so that's also fine. So now as soon as this is dry, or cured, I am going to just you'd put 2 coats of color and a top coat on top of that. So let's have a look at that. Right, that is cured. Don't wipe off the sticky layer because that works as a double-sided tape. You don't want that. When you have your bottles, do not shake them like you did nail polish. Just turn them upside down and give them a rub so that you don't get bubbles in there. Now, for this exercise, we are going to be using this white polish. I'm going to cap my free edge like that. Right, wait a moment. Can you see it's a much more runny gel? Alright, so now I've capped my free edge, and then I'm going to pick up that gel and I'm going to work it towards the cuticle area, and I'm going to just feather it down. Alright, if you've got too much gel on your brush, simply just wipe it off. And we're just going to feather that. So always work thin instead of working thick, because if it's too thick, it's not going to cure properly and you are going to have problems with lifting. So always make sure that you apply your gels in thin coats. So now while that is curing, one needs to learn to control a runny gel. So just practice with it. Practice makes perfect. Practice, practice, practice. And you'll get the hang of it. And I always suggest to do your own nails because that's how you learn. You learn how to do nails by doing your own nails first. You can feel what pressure you're using. You can feel what's burning, what's not burning, so you familiarize yourself with your products by doing your own hand. Always easier to do if you're right-handed to do your left hand if you're right-handed, but you can teach yourself to do both your hands, and that is always a good idea. So now we've got one coat. I'm going to repeat the application. Just need a little bit more gel. So can you see I am just working it around the cuticle area, and we're just brushing it down. Make sure you cover the side walls. So some pigments in gels aren't as pigmented as others. So this is a milky white, and then that will then get cured in the UV lamp. And then you would use a top coat over that. Well, I hope that helped you with painting. If you need more painting techniques, just give me a shout and I'll be happy to go through them with you. We can do another demonstration with regards to how to paint nail gel. So I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and well done for finishing module 2.